What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome into a little bit of Rover Sports. We are live here. I'm going to be taking y'all's questions for about 10 to 15 minutes here. Then probably try to get some rest before what should be an action-packed day tomorrow. Gonna give a quick announcement for people that are gonna watch this video. Tomorrow at about 4:30. Garrett, how are you? Thanks so much for popping in, bud. I'm gonna address you in a second. Um, 4:30 tomorrow. I am going to be recapping the NFL games, and then I'm gonna be headed to Insomnia Sports tomorrow for Bears and Vikings. And Nathan, unless you're are you going to the game, man? Maybe you are. If not, you're always welcome. Even if you're at Soldier Field, you're welcome to go into Insomnia Sports. And Nathan, I mean, you are having the year of all years because you've been a Chicago Bears fan and you've also been a Notre Dame fan with Kyle Whittingham, and you've seen the highs and lows of Notre Dame football. And today's win against Syracuse, although I think Syracuse was overrated for their slot, a lot of people love Eric Dungey, and I really don't like Eric Dungey in terms of a prospect, even for the college level. It was an amazing performance. Ian Book is playing tremendously well, and USC is a complete mess. So it's looking like Notre Dame is going to end up going undefeated. It's looking like Clemson is going to be undefeated, but Notre Dame is really impressive. And then you guys get a really good chance at Clemson. And I think Clemson's going to be about a 4-point favorite heading into that game in Miami, headed into the Orange Bowl, because it is going to be Michigan, Alabama, and Notre Dame and Clemson. So unless Georgia beats Bama or Michigan loses to Ohio State, it is going to be Notre Dame versus Clemson. And I think Notre Dame has a really good chance in that Orange Bowl to actually win, go to the national championship with Alabama, and we'll see what happens there. I think Alabama can maybe go undefeated. The bottom line today is that in college football now, I've kind of liked the 14 playoff because it makes every single game like so substantial. But this year, the 14 playoff does not work out well because we're going to have the most exciting teams in football. To me, the most exciting teams have really great offense. So Mike Leach in Washington State, really fun team. I love Gardner Minshew. Love him. He's like Baker Mayfield West. And I love Gardner Minshew and Mike Leach, and I'd love to see them in the college football playoff, and it's not going to happen. I'd also love to see Kyler Murray and Lincoln Riley get to the college football playoff, and both of those things are not going to happen, which is upsetting to me, honestly. If it was an 18 playoff, we'd have UCF, we'd have some fun games and add some more fun. These conference championships are not going to be that much fun. I mean, the Big 12 championship with Oklahoma and Texas rematch, that's going to be fantastic, I think. Maybe West Virginia happens to beat Oklahoma, I'm not sure. The SEC championship is really going to be good. The Iron Bowl this year is not going to be good. So you have Auburn, USC, Miami, Florida State. So a lot of traditional powers are really down in college football. And that's why it's maybe not that exciting of a year. Ohio State's also not the same Ohio State team that you usually see. Michigan State, I think with D'Antonio, is going to get worse and worse. Nebraska is going to creep up on people. Minnesota and Nebraska will be the class of the Big Ten. I'm really confident in the Cornhuskers, and I am confident that Minnesota Golden Gophers. I'm confident that they're going to put a great effort out in Wisconsin. I'm not sure if they're going to get to a bowl or not, but next year the Gophers are going 9-3, and I believe that the Gophers are going to take some serious steps in the right direction. Their recruiting class is just great. But for college football, it's been predictable. At the top, you see tons of blowouts, and it'd be more fun with 18 playoffs. You could dig even deeper into the college football. So that's what I am going to say about college football thus far. Daniel Jones and Duke, I expected that to be a much better game. And let me talk a little bit to Garrett, my buddy, about the Tennessee Vols. I fought the Vols today. I think Missouri is a team that's actually a really good team. The way they beat Florida, the way that Missouri went and handled Florida was really impressive. Then Missouri beat Vanderbilt really nicely. Then they went to Tennessee and got a great win. So the thing about the Missouri Tigers is that with Drew Lock, they run the football. Barry Odom's making them really complete. They run the ball. They play great defense. That team in the SEC is a dangerous, dangerous team. They almost had South Carolina. They should have beaten Kentucky if not for a terrible call at the end of that game. So Missouri is a really, really good team. If they played LSU on a neutral field, I would take Missouri, no doubt about it. So for Tennessee, it was very tough. Although next week you guys play Vanderbilt, and I believe that you'll win in Nashville and get to a bowl, which is absolutely great. So for Jeremy Pruitt, it's still been an incredible year. Missouri is really, really good, dude. What other games did they lose though? They lost Georgia and Alabama, and both of the. But you're right, 9-2. It would be amazing if they were 10-2. Instead, they're 8-4, which is horrible. If not for that rainstorm in South Carolina, if not for several other things, like Kentucky. Yeah. Oh my gosh, if Tennessee went to the Birmingham Bowl, let's do it. Let's do it, man. Yes. Yes. Because Ole Miss is going to get knocked out of bowl eligibility next week. I think that State is winning the Egg Bowl at Oxford. That means that Tennessee is going to be a 6-win SEC team. You could see them in Birmingham. That's very, very possible, Garrett. Very possible. But Drew Lock is ascending up boards. He was a guy that I was down on after Georgia, after South Carolina, and he's just steadied the ship. He's been the same guy every week, and he's reaping the benefits. He had a great week against Florida, workmanlike against Vanderbilt. Today he goes out on CBS Sports, and he plays a great game on CBS against the Vols. Drew Lock makes tremendous, tremendous throws, high upside, a guy that can really be a star at the NFL level, a guy that evaluators love that I really do like. You got me, boy. You got me, Garrett. Got me, bro. You got me on that. Ole Miss is a bowl suspension. Let's talk about who will get fired. Let's see. First of all, Blake Bortles can't throw. Maybe Drew Lock is the next Josh Allen or Jake Locker, but Blake Bortles has a terrible throwing motion. Drew Lock is more talented in his left pinky than Blake Bortles is in his whole entire body. Drew Lock can make throws. The problem with Drew Lock is his leadership's a question. He might throw interceptions. He might be a worse Jay Cutler. He's certainly a risk, okay? But if the Giants don't get Tua, I mean, Justin Herbert is a much safer prospect, but Drew Lock, I mean, you look at the throws that he makes and the windows that he can throw it, he's the most talented thrower you're going to see coming out in maybe the next 4 to 5 years. He is that talented of a prospect, Billy. So if he gets to the right situation, watch out. You're going to see Drew Lock making NFL throws next year, the year after that. You're going to have games, Billy, or whoever's watching, where Drew Lock is going to be on your television on NFL Sundays, and you're going to see throws, and you're going to be like, holy shit, I can't believe that guy's making those throws. So he's going to be as fun as ever, man. He is boom or bust. He is as fun of a prospect as you're ever going to find in college football. But anyway, Clay Helton is going to be fired from USC. Purdue, it might get rid of Jeff Brom. LSU is okay. Arkansas is okay. Gus Malzahn is going to be staying. So the USC job is going to be the biggest job coming open this year. Clay Helton not getting to a bowl is pathetic. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the NFL. We got a lot of NFL fans here. I'm going to go about 5 more minutes. I love Mitchell Trubisky. I think that Mitchell Trubisky and this Bears offense, when you really watch the tape, they're really going under the radar. I know a lot of people want to talk about Khalil Mack, and he is absolutely great, but Mitchell Trubisky and Matt Nagy, it is a tremendous, tremendous offensive attack. And Matt Nagy, the way that Matt Nagy calls plays, this might shock you guys, but if I was honestly an NFL general manager, um, or an NFL franchise, my top head coaches in the NFL right now that I would covet, I'd go one Sean McVay, and I'd go two Matt Nagy, and then I don't know if I want to go Reed. I don't know if I want to go Sean Payton. I would honestly go maybe Shanahan, Payton, and Frank Reich is honestly going to be pretty high on my list. Honestly, Frank Reich is a really, really good football coach. But Andy Reid, Sean Payton. So let me do my top five of coaches. I'm going definitely Nagy number two after Sean McVay. Then number three, I could go Frank Reich. I could go Frank Reich. I'm not going Mike Vrabel either. And these are just current NFL head coaches. I'll go Shanahan number three. I like Kyle Shanahan a whole lot. I love his scheme. I like Shanahan. I'm not going Doug Peterson, okay? I don't like how he doesn't run the football anymore. I'll go Peyton four. I like Andy Reid. I'll go him five. Number six, Frank Reich. That's how much I love Frank Reich and the Colts. Number seven, I'd maybe go Mike Vrabel, but he's not an offensive head coach. I'd maybe go Tomlin, actually. Tomlin's done a tremendous, actually, Dan Quinn also. So you have Dan Quinn, seven, Tomlin, eight. That's probably how I'd rank NFL coaching prospects. But Matt Nagy, to me, is the second best coach in football. And Matt Nagy, I expect the Bears to actually win the NFC North. And guess what's going to happen? They'll go 12-4, 11-5. They'll lose in the divisional round, and everybody will pick them to the Super Bowl next year. And there's a chance that they'll make the Super Bowl with Trubisky because he's playing really well. He's a good enough player to get to a Super Bowl. Anthony Miller is good enough. Jordan Howard, Tariq Cohen, the Roquan Smiths, the James Daniels. Their roster is so good. Ryan Pace should be the general manager of the year. And we're going to see it tomorrow night on display. When you watch Trubisky, it is unbelievable how Matt Nagy has just transformed that thing in a second. He is such a positive person. He is a Sean McVay. He is absolutely outstanding as a head coach, Matt Nagy, and he doesn't get enough credit. He should be coach of the year this year, I believe. We'll have to see how everything checks out. The Rams. I said this in my video. The Rams are beating the Chiefs. They're killing Kansas City. The Cardinals are killing Oakland. So those are two easy picks against the spread. Take them to the bank. Those are my 2 cents on those. Les Miles going to Kansas is a question that Garrett asked me. I'll answer some of your questions and statements here in the last couple of minutes before we get started for tomorrow. Garrett says Les Miles to Kansas. That is a brilliant, brilliant move by the Jayhawks. Absolutely fantastic because the Jayhawks were an irrelevant football team. Now they hire a guy that's a national champion, a guy that's played in national championships, a guy that has a great personality. His offenses aren't the most sophisticated, but it's Kansas football. And now you got a brand name in the Big 12 Conference. Good for y'all hiring Les Miles as your head football coach at the University of Kansas. I think that was a sensational hire by Kansas, and I do like Les Miles. And I'm excited for Kansas football for the first time, maybe ever, or maybe since Mangino and Todd Reesing and Briscoe and that team that won the Orange Bowl. They had a couple of amazing seasons. So we have 7 people in the chat. It's nice and late. It's going to be a really fun week tomorrow. I'll tell you the games that I'm excited about. I'm excited about the Giants going to play the Bucks. Ryan Fitzpatrick is having a great year. He's a likable guy, but Ryan Fitzpatrick's probably about the easiest matchup the Giants are going to have for the rest of the year. If the Giants lose to the Bucks, they're going to be picking in the top 3. If they beat the Bucks, they'll be picking top 7. Titans Colts, 1,000,000% is an amazing, amazing game. Amazing game. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say Cowboys Falcons though, because I think Dallas still has a pulse. Like, I want to see Jason Garrett. This story to me about Garrett retaining his job with Leighton Vander Esch and Dak, Dallas against the world. That's fun. I'm rooting for the Cowboys to win. I honestly am. And Texans Redskins is great. I think I find myself rooting for the Texans in that matchup because I want the Cowboys to win the NFC East. So I'm gonna go with the Texans tomorrow. I think that's going to be really fun. What a great game. And then you're absolutely right. The Titans and the Colts. I mean, Frank Reich, Andrew Luck, 9-0, as Garrett has pointed out. Andrew Luck hasn't been sacked all year long. Quentin Nelson is a tremendous, tremendous player. Let's go. I'm going to take the Colts, though, to win the game. I am. I'm picking the Colts to beat the Titans. It's a really tough matchup. Mariota's going to have to play tremendous. You better have to catch up to them, and we'll see. I think the Texans are a pretty good team. I think the Colts are underrated. The Texans, they have winners. Deshaun Watson wins games. Their defense has playmakers. They know how to win. I got to give the Texans some credit. They are definitely not underrated, though. They're a little worse than the record indicates. And their schedule, guys, if you look at the Houston Texans schedule, it's absolute cake the rest of the way. Cake. It's easy. The Texans can be 11-5, 12-4. It's going to be hard to catch them in that division. But that division, suddenly, the Jacksonville Jaguars are suddenly trending towards the bottom because they have the worst coach and the worst quarterback in the division. They have old defensive players, and their culture is not very good right now. Their players are not behind each other right now. So you look at the Colts, incredibly on the rise with Nick Severino from the Chargers as their coordinator, with Frank Reich, with Quentin Nelson, with Costanzo being back, with Marlon Mack, with Leonard, with all these players. That their defense is just going to get better and better. All they have to worry about is their defense. And Chris Ballard is one of the best general managers in the entire league. And Frank Reich is really a good play caller. So the Colts are on the rise. The Tennessee Titans and Marcus Mariota, they have a really talented roster. They picked up some great players. John Robinson's a serious, serious dude. He's a serious, serious guy. He's tough as heck. Tough as shit. As shit. AFC's open. I mean, I don't love the Texans as much as the Colts. I like the Colts better. I like Luck better than Watson. I don't love Bill O'Brien, right? I like the Colts. I like this Colts team. I even like Tennessee. So, AFC's open. The Patriots aren't the same. The Chiefs, as good as Mahomes is, has flaws. It's not like the NFC. In the NFC, it's the Saints and the Rams. The Saints might lose tomorrow. The Saints are a great team. The Rams are great. That's your NFC title game, okay? The Bears are tremendous. But it's Saints and Rams this year. I don't know if I can do that about the Titans. I'd love to see the South get a wild card bid, though. Because you look at it, it's going to be the Chargers, right? But then the Bengals are not going to get in as a wild card. The Broncos are probably not going to get in. Bengals are going to beat the Ravens tomorrow, probably. I'm telling you, that's a good bet, too. I mean, Hugh Jackson's going to help. He's worked with Marvin Lewis before. Okay, you don't know how Lamar Jackson's going to play. That game's been off the board all week for a reason. But in the AFC, I'd love to see, like, the Colts and Titans get into the playoffs. Love to see the Colts and Titans. Dolphins, no way are they going. No way the Bengals going either. No way. It's two teams. I would love to see the AFC South get a team in there. Bosa's going to be back probably next week. I don't think he's going to be back tomorrow against Denver. That'll be pretty early, but next week for sure. So Joey Bosa is going to be back, and Chargers are sneaky, but Chargers aren't that good. I'm taking Tennessee over them on a neutral field. I would take the Colts over them. I take the Texans. I'm taking the AFC South. I'm all in on the South. And a lot of people are coming to me with Colts love right now, and it's well deserved. I watched that Jacksonville game. Andrew Luck's playing unbelievable ball. It's a really exciting time in Indianapolis right now. They are on the rise. That whole division is ready to absolutely go up. That whole division's ready to turn into the NFC South. Le'Veon Bell not returning. I think it's a good move for the Steelers. For him personally, it's just been a tough year. I'm excited to see him get back on the field next year. It's very awkward. He's taking a lot of heat right now. And for him, though, in the long-term future, it's hard to say. Like, you're not in the situation as Bell. I don't know if I love everything that Bell's doing, but he is going to make a ton of money. It's going to work out for him now. And I actually like him not playing now because you made the decision to sit out the first 10 weeks. Screw it. Finish it at the end. The Jets or the San Francisco 49ers, but it's leaning Jets. And I think that's exciting for the Jets. A young, exciting star. You got to get a star player if you're the Jets. New head coach. I don't know if I'd spend for him though. But as a fan, I'm happy for the Jets. You got to get a star player for the Jets. I mean, you got to get that franchise moving a little bit. But if I were the 49ers, I would also make that same decision. They went after Richard Sherman. You get Le'Veon Bell. You have Jerick McKinnon in that backfield. Hello, with Jimmy Garoppolo, with George Kittle playing so well. You add a wide receiver, maybe an A.J. Brown, maybe like a Metcalf in the second round. You add a stud wide receiver in the draft, and the 49ers should absolutely make a run at Le'Veon Bell. Absolutely. They are ready to win right now. Thank you, Garrett. I'm about to do the same, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great night. Shout out to Jimmy Butler for an incredible game winner tonight versus the Hornets. Tomorrow, Insomnia Sports. We will see, Phil. Great comment, Phil. I know you're a Chiefs fan. I'm hoping they do decent. But I got the Rams this week winning big. Check out my video I just dropped a few minutes ago. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining.